Sheila Sherman is a self-care expert, essential oils educator, author of a prayer journal for faithpreneurs, Making God Your CEO, director of Blooming Ladies Networking Group for Women Entrepreneurs, and owner of Predy's Country Stables, a horse boarding and riding facility in Alberta, Canada. Sheila is passionate about God, prayer, healthy living, journaling, and helping women succeed in life and business with grace and ease. Our goal is to help women discover both the importance and the many aspects of self-care and how it can transform every area of business and life. Married for 33 years, she and her husband Robert have raised and home educated their 6 children in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Welcome, Sheila Sherman!
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Unmasking Beauty series, and today we have an amazing Adonia woman here, the beautiful Sheila Sherman. She's here to tell us all about unmasking confidence. So Sheila, as we normally do, we're gonna have a conversation over a makeup session, and I'm gonna give you the look.
All right, I need it.
Okay, so Sheila, tell us about Sheila. Who is Sheila?
Oh wow, Sheila wears a lot of hats.
Really? So
yes,
tell us.
absolutely, and I love it. So I am a mom of 6,
Okay.
and most are adults, 5 adult children now, and I still have 1 at home.
Okay.
And I absolutely love being a mom and talking about unmasking confidence. A lot of my confidence actually came from being a mother.
Wow.
And we also homeschooled. So I homeschooled my kids.
Everyone.
And I am still homeschooling, yes. So I'm a veteran homeschooling mom of 24 years.
Wow.
Loved it, loved it, loved it. And of course, again, that is something that helped to build my confidence. After my kids started getting a little bit older and I started having a little bit more time,
Okay.
I opened a home-based business.
Okay.
And it centers around health and essential oils because health is my jam. It is just, if you don't have your health, what do you have, right?
Right.
So my passion is to help guide women into, and especially moms, because you have little ones or younger, you have a whole family you're taking care of. So helping them with their health, up-leveling their health, have the energy that you need to be a mom and approach that confidently. So I've been studying health on my own, empowering myself with education, self-education, since I was like 18 years old. I won't tell you how long ago that was, but since 18 years old, that's when I began my health journey. Okay. And it wasn't because I was sick or anything like that. It was just because I just felt this desire to, all right.
Okay.
I felt a desire and a passion to up-level my own health, have healthy family, healthy kids, and then that has extended to helping to influence others with their health.
Wow.
So after having a home-based business for the last 12 years, then I actually decided, and after all of my kids, most of my kids moved out, I actually had more time.
Okay.
And from there, I went on a journey to search for my passion, to continue with more passions. And my passion is teaching, and then my passion is also God. So I went on this journey with God, inquiring, what do you want me to do now? Basically, what do you want me to do now?
Yeah.
And where the Lord led me is just extraordinary. I had no idea the direction He would lead me into. I still have my home-based business, but He led me to get published. And being a writer is a desire that I had since high school.
Okay.
But I sort of gave it up once I started having children and being a mom at home, and I just sort of forgot about that dream. But God didn't forget, and He brought it back to me. And so I got published a prayer journal called Making God Your CEO, a prayer journal for faithpreneurs. So it's directly targeted to women who are spirit-led.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing. So you're going to tell us how to get that journal, because I definitely need a journal like
Yes.
that. So going back to some of the things you said, you talked about being a mom of 6. Wow. Like at that point when you were raising the kids, did you feel that was all you were created to do? Or did you feel there was something else that you should be doing that you were missing out from? Because I know a lot of moms that they're just tired of, staying at home with kids, even young kids as young as 1 and 2, and they just feel they're called for other things and not only being a mother.
Yes.
So how would you approach that? Like what would you say? How did you feel at the time? Yeah.
Well, I, like so many women, especially as we're growing up and we're going through high school and you have these dreams and aspirations. I was going to be a big time actress. I was going to, then after I kind of scaled down from there, I was like, okay, then I'll go into broadcasting. And then that didn't quite happen, so I kind of scaled down from there. And I ended up being a proofreader before having my kids. Okay. But I always wanted to be an author and write. Writing was my talent.
Okay.
And again, when you have these kids, small kids, you have to make choices. If you say yes to something, you're going to say no to something else. It's just how it is. And so I said no to my career and higher aspirations for the sake of being a stay-at-home mom. And I absolutely love being a stay-at-home mom. Wouldn't trade it for anything. And I did sort of give up on my dreams. I just said, well, yes, this is enough for me. And it was, for a moment, for a time, for a season.
Okay.
I put everything into my kids and my husband. I've been married, we celebrate our 33rd anniversary this month. And that's something that thank you. I am totally ecstatic about it. And so you have to prioritize, and I prioritize my family. Now it doesn't mean that if you have a career and you have a family, you haven't prioritized your family. You've prioritized both, right? Okay. For me, having so many, and I did try to do other things raising these kids, but it just was never enough time. So I didn't give up, but I just said, okay, this is where I'm at. This is what I was created for, and this is my purpose. Again, for a season. And that was okay.
For a season. And I like what you said about, for that season, you had to make decision. You had to make a decision on, what, let me just focus on this, and other things will come later. This is what I want to focus on for this season. So I think that's where a lot of us miss it. Like, you're called for different things at different seasons of your life. I mean, if you're not called to homeschool, you're not even going to think about it, if you get what I mean. But you really, really thought, what, there's so much inside of me that I can, give to these children, and they don't need to go to school. You're going to do all of that by yourself. So I'm so glad that you shared that. Thank you about that. Okay, so on the topic of passion, because that's a topic we talk about a lot on this show, because we have a lot of viewers that are wanting to know what their passion is, or they already know what their passion is, and they just want to know more about the topic. I mean, no one is an island, and no one knows it all. So I want to hear your perspective on that word passion. What does passion mean to you, and how do we discover our passion?
Well, I think that we're born with gifts and talents. And as young kids, we dream, right? We dream, I'd like to be this, I'd like to do that. And we have those things born within us. I can look at my kids and know, because I saw them growing up, and it's like, I know what was put in you. as when you were a young child. But I think what happens is, and it almost happened to me, is we start losing our ability to dream sometimes, and we start compromising, maybe doubting ourselves, even just simply forgetting that what was put in you, and you start heading into another direction. And I think what happens is that's when people are unsatisfied with where their life is going, because they're not following their purpose and their passion. And for me, I remember teaching my siblings when I was, 8, 9 years old, and my younger siblings, I used to sit them down and have them learn their alphabet. And then that came through when it came time for my own kids. I said, hey, I could do that.
Right.
It was just a part of who I was. Is I loved the whole teaching process and the learning process. And then that extended out into my home-based business on health. I started studying health and making health a priority and studying it. And then I started teaching people about health. So those things that are already in you, and you know it, it has been put inside of you. And so follow it. You don't have to know exactly how you're going to get there. You just have to, it's a faith walk, and move forward in faith and walk into that passion and into that purpose. And so I forgot myself about that dream of writing and being an author. And then God brought that back. That was something that was put in me young as well. I had a talent for writing and reading and all of that. And then God just brought that back to me when I was ready and when the time was right. And so I think what I would do to advise someone is, I would say, go inward. Take some time to relax, to think, to consult with God, to seek and to search. It takes time, and we're busy. So if you're wondering what you are here for, if you are wondering what your purpose is, if you're wondering, what do I have a passion for? Take a step back. Make that time available for yourself to really go in and seek and search. And I believe that you will find. Ask, and the door will be open to you. Seek, and ye shall find. So,
wow. Thank you so much. And I do agree with you about, just being quiet, and, just being quiet and just being ready to listen, to actually hear. Because it's different when all you do is talk, but when being actually ready. And then there's a point in your life where you're actually ready. Right? There's a point in your life where you're just all over the place and you're just doing different things. And then there's a point in your life where you're like, you know what? I want to have a direction in my life. I want to have a purpose. What should I actually be doing? And when you get to that point, you know it, because you're lost, you feel unrest, you feel an unrest within you. And then you really need to be ready to listen.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Right? And you've
absolutely.
actually mentioned that. So thank you for sharing that, Sheila. So I'm also gonna ask about homeschooling, because it's very common. I mean, the first place I really saw homeschooling happen was back in the UK. But here, when I got here, I actually met a lot more people that actually homeschool. So do you think, so there's a myth around homeschooling, like, if you homeschool, the kids may be socially awkward and all of that, because they're mostly just in their house with their siblings schooling. So do you have anything to say to that?
Absolutely, yes.
And have you heard that before?
Oh, all the time. All the years of homeschooling. And it is a myth, or it can be true. When I say it can be true, what I mean is, if parents do not allow their children to socialize, they will be socially awkward. But I don't find that with homeschoolers. the reason why we choose to homeschool is because we want these well-developed overall children. So what helps us to get that is homeschooling activities. There are so many homeschooling activities, homeschooling classes, opportunities for children to get together as homeschoolers. And so really there's so much that you could not even do everything that there is to do. Okay, there's just so many opportunities in every way. And then on top of that, there is also regular opportunities, not just necessarily homeschool opportunities that exist. For instance, my daughter rode horses. It wasn't homeschooling horseback riding, it was just horseback riding lessons. Then she went on to run track, and that was just with the local track team. I have twins, they played football, and then they also ran track. I have my oldest son, he used to box, and he boxed on a national and international level.
Wow.
So he was all of that is socialization. All of that is a part of it.
True. So it's not just from school you get socialization. That's
Absolutely.
What you're trying to say. Yeah.
Right.
You as a parent need to be deliberate about trying to, put your kids out there and exploring everything they can explore, everything positive that they can explore.
Yes, and it's just natural. I mean, when our kids are 2, we start saying, "Say hi," right? I mean, it's just a natural progression. It's nothing that's unnatural about it, but you do have to make it a point to do that. I also value time at home. So I did not want to run my kids around a million times a day and everywhere and stress them out and stress me out. I believe in living life with grace and ease. So I did not want that, but so I'm able to balance. As a homeschooler, you're able to balance and do what fits your own family.
I get. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that exposure. Thank you for that exposure. Yeah, so today we're talking about unmasking confidence. What does confidence mean to you? When people say, oh, she has confidence, she doesn't have confidence. Do you think people are born with confidence, or do you think we create it? And how has that played out in your life?
Yeah. You know, when you're a mom and you're raising kids, you have a certain amount of ideas of how things work, and then your kids kind of show you that things don't work the way you thought they worked.
Right, I know.
In general. So with the whole idea of confidence, are you born with it? I suppose many people are. Is it developed over time with exposure, with accomplishment? I believe that it is. It's gradual, it's progression. Do we all progress at the same time in a level of confidence? No, absolutely not. But it all grows at whatever pace is meant to grow for us, right? If you want more confidence, go do something that you don't do confidently. That will grow your confidence. It's the same with faith. If you want more faith, you have to do something that will create faith. If you always do what you've always done and you're always comfortable with it, and then there's no growth of faith. There's no growth of confidence. Coming here to do this is something that is new for me, and it's growing my confidence. So by the way, thank you so much for inviting me to do this.
You're welcome. And I get that a lot. Like, Adonia, I don't do public speaking. And I'm like, we're just having a chat. You're not doing public speaking. Of course, there'll be cameras, but we're just having a chat. So thanks for coming. I know for a lot of people, it's out of their comfort zone. But hey, it's your story, not anyone's story. You're the only one.
I actually love all of this part of it. Right?
What do you know?
It's just coming in front of the camera with no makeup.
Okay.
To get started with. That was more. That's a little vanity there. So we'll just cancel that. But I just said, I'm going to go for it. This is the day and age of social media and live talks and all of that, and video, and where we can just step out step out of what we're used to
Right.
and do something different
Yeah.
and do something towards your goals. So that is how you gain confidence. And then also, I think there needs to be a renewal of the mind. If you give yourself negative self-talk,
Right.
negative self-talk, I can't do this, I can't do. No, don't do that. I never do that, actually. I know when I have a limitation, let's say if I have a little bit of I don't know, a little bit of a scariness,
Yeah.
I now know that's good. It's like, oh, I'm scared to do this. This is good then. Then I should absolutely do
Right?
it.
When there's fear. When you
Yes.
feel that fear,
When
you're
you-
like, actually, what is at the back of that fear, right?
Yeah.
And that is
Yeah.
what you should be doing, because you're actually quite scared. You feel you can't do it. You feel people are gonna laugh at you. You're feeling so many things.
Yeah.
But I think that's really what you should be doing. So I think what I got from what you said right now is confidence actually comes from, we're all born with confidence, but then we develop it. We're
Yeah.
supposed to develop
Yeah.
it, right? And confidence comes from, you think you can do something and you actually challenge yourself to do
Yes.
it, and you do it, and you notice that you're beginning to gain more confidence. Thank you so much. So is there a certain story of your life that can help us buttress this point and take this point home better? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mentioned the prayer journal.
Yeah.
And before creating the prayer journal, I was going through a point, many kids were grown up, they were
Yeah.
out of the house.
Yeah.
And I came to this point where I was basically calling out to God and saying,
Okay.
what do I do now? What is my purpose? What would you have me to do?
Okay.
I had a colleague invite me to make God my CEO. And I thought,
To what? Sorry.
make God
Okay.
my
yes,
CEO.
Okay.
And I had my home-based business,
Okay.
but it was, I had some frustrations.
Okay.
We all have some frustrations in our business, in our life, in relationships. So I was having some frustrations, and I turned to God.
Okay.
God immediately took
Okay.
me to my journal. I had not journaled in about 10 years. And God took me to my bookshelf,
Wow.
and I put my journal off, and I looked at the last date. It was 10 years before, and I started journaling.
Seriously. Wow.
Then I started waking up first thing in the morning to have that time of prayer and journaling and Bible study.
Okay.
And through the journaling, what came out was direction from God with my purpose. And one day I woke up and God downloaded the contents of the journal to me. And I started typing it out and writing it out. And I didn't know where that was gonna go. I didn't plan on creating a journal. I didn't plan on any of it. I just was open to hear God and be led. And so that is basically what happened. I found someone to help me get the journal published, got the journal published, and from there I am creating an online prayer journaling course and also a podcast. And these things are all based off of making God your CEO, putting God first in your business, making him your CEO and letting him direct you. And after I started doing that, after I started hearing the voice of God and moving in flow with the Spirit of God and him opening doors,
Yeah.
so many doors opened.
More doors open.
They just open up for you. So when we talk about passion and purpose, with my purpose, knowing it, being strong in it, I just do the faith walk. I just walk into the doors, that God opens for me. And then it's all with grace and ease. There's no worry, there's no stress, because I know that it's God's projects. It's what he's handed over to me to accomplish based on my gifts and talents that he gave me.
So right now you have just told us the process of birthing your dream or your passion.
Yeah.
It was hard, it was tough. I mean, you were in labor. It was painful.
Yeah.
You know, you had to wake up at a certain time every morning, journal. Those are not things you were used to.
No.
But you know, were you scared? Did you have fear at any point of, you know, who's gonna read your journal? Who's gonna use your journal? Who's gonna how are you even gonna market it? How are you gonna did you have any of those fears?
No.
Wow. How did you not? Did you just feel it was gonna go out there
No.
and do some magic?
I call it a faith walk. All I did was do what God told me to do. And if no one buys it, that's okay. I just did what God told me to do. So there's
And
no
I like
fear in that.
You surrendered. You're like,
Surrender.
God, you've called me to do this,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna surrender.
Just surrender.
Whatever you want to use it for, use it. It has nothing to do with who I am or what I'm
Right.
gonna do. Wow, that is
Absolutely.
powerful, because we all need to get to that point where we just surrender. We surrender, like, okay, God, you've called me to do this, and I'm just gonna surrender. Wow, thank you so much for that. I love it. Love it. I hear you on that. Okay. So, Sheila, is there any other thing you want to share today before I ask you my last question?
I think what I'd like to share with
Yeah.
with
With our audience.
our audience is that every challenge, everything that happens in your life, it's all for learning. It's all for moving you from one point to the next. And if we look at challenges as opportunities, it's a mindset thing. It's deciding that things are happening for you, not against you, even the challenges. It's all about just moving forward. The challenge is there to teach you something, to help you get over something, for you to be able to teach someone else something. And gratitude is my jam. I like to say gratitude is my jam because I'm grateful for those times. It's all in our mindset. I am grateful for the times that there's a challenge because I know that there's something greater waiting on the other side. So if we could fix our minds, especially if there are women entrepreneurs or any entrepreneurs, thinking and moving forward and feeling fear, first of all, good fear is good. The fear that moves you forward is good. The fear that keeps you from moving forward, you want to change that. You want to move away from that, right? It may just be an indication that you're supposed to move forward. And that's what I believe. So
I hear you.
I
I
think
hear
what
you.
I'd like to say to the audience is the renewing of the mind is very, very important. It's how we look at things, how we look at challenges, how we look at life. And to look at life as something that's for us and for us to be able to give to other people, our gifts and our talents. And then you have confidence.
I love that. And I hear you on that. Right? We were created to deliver a gift. We were not created to just be receiving gifts. We were created to deliver.
Yeah.
And as long as you know that, it's not about what you even have to get back. It's just about delivering, doing your assignment.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
very much. Yeah. Hey, good. So can you tell us the 3 tips you want to share with Adonia women today to daily unmask our beauty, to daily unmask our confidence?
Yes. First thing is gratitude. Being grateful for all things. Scripture says, be grateful, be thankful for all things. And so that includes those challenges. But what that does is it helps us to see the beauty in ourselves, and it helps us to see the beauty in everyone else and in everything. And I believe in being grateful and thankful from sun up to sundown. I know that there's a lot of advice, and it's great advice to write down 3 things you're grateful for.
Yeah.
Get started there if that's where you're
It
at.
makes one thing. I do that as well. And
Yeah.
it just makes me think.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, all these good things have happened.
Yes.
Why am I focusing on the things that are not working?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Focus.
gratitude is
It helps
huge.
you focus on really what wonders are already in your life.
Yeah.
And that helps you to build confidence. Well, if this is already here, then what more? What more can I experience? As opposed to the negative self-talk that focuses on the things that aren't going right. So that would be tip number one.
Okay.
Really encourage people for that. The other thing would be to journal.
Journal.
There is something about writing things down
I'm a fan.
and then going back and looking at it. Talk about confidence. I wrote down in my journal, I want to be an author. I wrote down all these things that I was choosing in my life, and then next thing you know,
It's powerful.
It came
I said
to
you were
me.
choosing, right?
Yes,
you need to
choosing.
choose and be deliberate about it. And writing it down is even the Bible says it that when
Yeah.
you catch a dream,
Yeah.
you journal,
Write it
you
down.
Write it down. And when you write
Absolutely.
it down, it feels like
Yeah.
it's happening. It feels
Yeah.
like you can see it already.
absolutely.
Good.
And I'd like to give one journaling tip, if I may.
Okay.
It is a journal, not a complaint journal. Once upon a time, when I journaled, I just wrote out everything that was wrong.
You just ranted.
Oh, I ranted in the journal. And what did that do? There was no changes that happened.
Right.
Nothing changed. It all stayed the same. My
Right.
focus stayed on that.
Right.
And then once I realized, wait a minute, I should be, and I didn't just realize it, God gave, reading my Bible, it's like there should be gratitude for all the wonderful things in my life. And that actually helped me appreciate my husband more. So instead of complaining about him, I saw all the gifts and talents that he had. It opened my eyes to it. And yeah, so definitely journal. Write things down. I have journals from when my kids were little, and I wrote about their lives and them being little babies. So journal would be number 2. And number 3 is that negative self-talk. Really I have a simple solution. If there's any thought, just because we think a thought doesn't mean we have to continue to think it. We can change our thoughts. And so what I had to start doing with the negative self-talk is I just said, shut up. I just told it to shut up.
You're just in the midst of people,
Yeah.
and it comes to your head, and you're like, "Shut up!"
Right, exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I had to start saying it less and less and less because I trained my brain to think the other thought.
Training. Yeah.
Training your brain.
Being deliberate, being
Yeah.
aware that okay,
Yeah.
this is a negative thought.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I'm not going
Right.
to manifest this.
No.
I choose not to
choose
manifest
a different
this.
thought.
I choose a different thought, and
Yeah.
gradually.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
those 3 tips are powerful.
I hope so.
First was gratitude.
Yes.
Be full of thanks in every situation. And second,
Journaling.
is journaling. Journal. We have the Teen Beauty Journal. This is for teenage girls.
Yeah.
Sheila has one for entrepreneurs. And to be honest, it doesn't have to be fancy. Just get a notebook and just write away.
Yeah,
Write
absolutely.
away how you want to feel, what you want to do, and also write things you're grateful for. It's
Yeah.
really powerful. So
Really
gratitude, journaling, and third, anything that has to do with negative
thinking,
self-talk. I mean,
yes.
our thinking, and that has to do with our thinking and our mindset. We need to retrain our minds and not have negative and not accommodate negative self-talk. I mean, as the negativity starts to come to your mind, you need to be able to to be aware and to be deliberate about, trying to push it away. Our own strategy is to say, shut up. I'm not going that route.
Not going
I do
that
not
route.
choose you, right?
Yeah.
So we need to be aware that this is negative and what's behind the negativity. We need to look for it and make sure that we are not going that route. Thank you
Yes.
very much, Sheila, for
Well,
all your
thank
nuggets
you.
of wisdom. I need
Yes.
notes. I need to take notes now.
Well, I can't wait to see.
Yeah, you were amazing on the show. And last but not the least, I am gonna spray you up so that your makeup lasts all day.
Oh,
Now we
awesome.
need a professional photo shoot.
Yes,
Hey?
absolutely. Thank you very, very much
You're
for this.
welcome,
This is
Sheila.
awesome, and this
You're
opportunity
welcome.
you give to so many women. So
It's my
You're
pleasure.
awesome. Yes, it's
my
your
pleasure.
passion.
It's my pleasure to build confidence in women, and I
Yeah.
know this is part of building confidence.
Yeah,
At
absolutely.
times, if you don't talk about yourself and things you've overcome and some of your stories, you don't even appreciate them. You don't
Right.
even know you've gone through those situations. So thank you
Right.
very much
okay.
for being on the show.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, you've heard everything Sheila had to share. If you have any questions, feel free to put in the comment section below. Sheila is going to be, I'm going to get all our details. So if you want to contact her, if you want to get a journal, please feel free. I'll put everything under this video so that you can directly contact her. So till our next video, stay beautiful.